Mr. Metzger, you're on Dysfunctional Podcast.
Hey, thanks for having me on your podcast.
Yeah, sorry, man. What a week for you. The background to this is I actually messaged Kurt a week and a half ago and said, hey, we'd love to have you on our show. And of course...
That's right, I remember that.
And then I'm like...
I vaguely remember that.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember. I'd imagine you don't remember anything from this week.
Or want to.
No, I do, man. It's not even that I feel like I don't even want to be going on things and talking about it. But the thing is, there's an important point that I had, and it got very muddy because I got angry talking to people fighting with their identity politics, you know?
Right, yeah. I mean, we talked about this a little bit earlier, and I see your point completely. Your point wasn't, people that get raped to assholes.
Let me what happened, dude.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I reached out to, Barry Crimmins?
Yes.
So I was talking to him because he's been raped. I mean, it's pretty brutal, the story about him. And he really fucking tapped into somebody, man. Like, I don't know that guy very well, but he's like a close friend of mine now. And that guy saw through me, like, on stage in about 2 seconds and just somehow saw my whole life history. I don't know how the hell he did it. But the bottom line is, here's what I didn't take into account, okay? I got a certain measure of my own pain from, like, a horrific kind of abuse. It's not sexual, but and I can't even tell people who it was.
Right.
I have my reasons. I can't tell people. I can't tell people what happened. I can't tell people who it was. So I can sympathize with somebody. Do you know what I mean?
Right, absolutely.
And even though like I said, like I just think it shouldn't be handled by a clown school, but that's not the whole story. I didn't have the whole story at the time,
right.
And I have a lot more of the story now, and I can't really tell you why I do yet.
No, that's fine.
But I did reach out to like one of the main people who hates my guts, and she didn't hate my guts. Right? She has like the same thing as me. Like she got raped twice. She's the same kind of like my dude. That's gonna kill me to say this fucking word, but my trigger. Oh god.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
I gotta take a pause because they said trigger. Because they said trigger. But you know what? If it helps communicate, I gotta say these dumb words. But it was like there's a certain thing just from my background where being told what I'm supposed to fucking think is a part of what traumatized me. So that's now my bully in front of me. Do you understand?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I lash out crazy because no one's ever going to do that to me again. Now, that sounds a lot like somebody that maybe got raped.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So somebody's making me into their. There's another element of this which is like the newest feminist politics, and believe me, they're not mad at my rhetoric. They're mad because I don't accept the entire goddamn religion. But Nikki Black, who I talked to, and I got to give it to her, she was willing to put that shit. She was willing to put that patriarchy shit down for 2 seconds. I told her about like what happened to me, and we talked about it. And it's one thing to fight for your point, but it's another thing to get something done. So I'm trying to get something done right now at this point. And I'm just talking to you because all the shit I yelled, I didn't add an important part to it. And unfortunately, if you're talking to people that have been victimized. And I'm somebody that was. They
Right.
don't get it if you just want to tell them your fucking point. They don't get it. They get their backup. So I have my backup, and some other people had their backs up. And so I just, for the hell of it, after talking to Barry, I talked to this person who mainly I was arguing with in most of the angry shit I said.
Right.
You know? Mm-hmm. I was mainly talking to one person. These people took it as like a whole different thing. I mean, literally, I cannot believe how much people have twisted. But I could only blame myself because that's the media. It's a fucking wrecking ball.
Right, of course.
It goes over you and it keeps going forward. And I know this thing will just my career's fine, dude. Okay.
Of course.
And by the way, anybody yelling at Comedy Knockout, I feel bad that I even said a goddamn thing about it. Like Comedy Knockout doesn't have a choice. What are they gonna have me on the day after this shit?
Yeah, of course not.
Those are all my friends there, and I owe them the apology. They don't owe me an apology. So I know people are tweeting. I mean, if this helps, this is why I want to talk to you. If people are tweeting shitty shit at them, like, come on, man. This is the reason I reached out to the person who's trying to smash me, because people that support me right now are saying some real ignorant shit that I don't support. Okay.
Right.
And this is not a thing of like the man's always innocent and this bitch lied. This is not what it's about. I'm disturbed by the social media mob, and I did stick my thumb in their eye because I don't like them.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean that a lot of this shit that I find silly, a lot of women that got hurt real bad, this is what gets them through their day. Okay, just like comedy gets me through my day. So there's some common ground there that we could get to without this kind of yelling back and forth. So I'll work on something now with Nikki. I hope like Monday it's out, and it's But I don't want it to blow over just on a note where everybody has either picked a side.
Of course.
Like you're on Team Kurt, and nobody said anything to a victim or you know what I mean?
Right.
The focus got shifted away.
But nothing in what you said it was the victim's fault. You just said that they should have gone to the right place.
But the way I said it,
yeah.
Right, that's exactly right. Yeah. But bottom line is the way I said it out of my pain is going to make it hard for somebody. Like you could maybe see that. But some people that got hurt, especially women have been raped, possibly, are not going to maybe look at it how I want. You know what I mean? And there's zero sensitivity on my part for that. So I got to accept my part in that, even if I stand by my point. Okay? And I know there's like some like feminists who are on the extreme end that are going to be like, fuck you. No, the focus should be on you because you are the problem.
Right.
So that's what now I'm the symbol of the problem for a certain political segment. And that's on me because I was trying to fight with them. But what got lost here is that some real people fucking got hurt. And women, like, I didn't have all the information, which is why I was yelling. But I do now, okay? So let me put it this way. It's not that I believe women, which is shorthand for take this seriously. But, feminist shorthand is infuriating to someone like me. So I'll translate it for other people out there. Take it seriously.
Right.
And I'll just leave it at, I believe my friend, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And not put it in the terms that it was being put, which is like a woman said it, that's good enough for you.
Right.
Because you know what? It's not just one. This is a person. It's not a symbol. It's and it's more than one. It's more than one.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a person. And so trying to fight these little battles gets that really lost. And I know to some people that's what's more important, but it's not. It is not. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the girl Nikki Black, who I was in this big fight, that's what it snowballed from me fighting with her.
Right.
I'm doing something with her now, and I'm hoping that it shifts focus onto it because I do not want this to blow over, okay? Because it will pass. My career's fine. I'm not fired from anything. My relationship with Amy is good.
Next week, no one will care next week. That's the problem. You need to make a step to make it do something good, to remember to do something good, not
because
shit.
Because of my part in it, yeah, that's right. And so when this blows over, I don't want it to just blow over and everybody sat on their positions, man. I'd rather something got done. So hopefully Monday, there's a little more to this. So I'm just telling you that, and I hope that's there's a little more to it because I do know what my part in was it, and I'm sorry if I don't accept all of your dog amongst the people that really hate me. But the people who I hurt that might have been on my side, I know what I did with that. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I mean, I don't understand what was so wrong because they're treating it the same way that they treated the whole thing with Penn State. People went to the wrong people. That's right. They went to the wrong people, and then Penn State said, fuck it, let's not do anything about it.
I'll tell you what was wrong. I'll tell you exactly what was wrong. Because much like, listen, I'm the one who fucking said this shit. So if you didn't understand what was wrong, what do you think I did? You think I understood? Like, I said all this shit. But there's an extra dimension here. And the bottom line is, it's really not about me at all. And I projected on the fear of, like, being falsely accused of something. But I don't believe that, dude, okay?
Right.
And I didn't have all the, and I didn't have enough, and I think there's a lot of people that they don't need court-grade evidence, they just need a little bit more information, okay? Right. But there's good reasons why the information wasn't all out there that I wasn't aware of. There really is. And I can't talk about all of them now.
No, absolutely.
Because there's certain things. But I will when I'm allowed to, you know? And I the focus I really want to help shift it back to, because if we all forget about this and like, okay, well, I forgive Kurt or I hate whatever, then what? We all forget about that there's then we all forget about there's a real thing here. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I mean, but I still don't understand why people are taking this bad because you didn't really say anything about these people that this happened to, and you didn't really say either way.
Reasons. I'll tell you 2 reasons why. I'm going to tell you 2 reasons why. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's one segment taking it wrong because they're real into feminist theory, and they're not going to accept you just going part of the way with them because I'm not Kurt. I'm a fucking white man, part of the white man, and I have to just accept that I'm the patriarchy, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And they don't really get that a lot of men are not going to fucking accept that, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I agree with the concepts that white privilege is addressing, but it's not a very productive term because you're not going to tell somebody who's white and not privileged that they're white privileged.
Right.
And now they're going to reject your good points. So that's me, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
Now, I have some good points. But because of the way I did it, there's a lot of people that got hurt for real, and my insensitivity to that is now alienating them from my good points. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, so it's like they already decided that anything that comes out of your mouth is going to be shit. End of story.
That's right, and my anger over that is kind of clouding it, and so it's not so much. Look, if people that hate me, they're going to hate me. I mean, listen, this girl I talked to, I didn't even realize the shit they think I've done in the past.
Wow.
They think I write fake profiles of Sadie Doyle and Lindy West, which I've never. I mean, if this goes out there, I've never done that.
Wow.
What I did do to Sadie Doyle was say she didn't exist and was a character I made up, and it snowballed. Now, honestly, I think that was a pretty harmless prank, and it was clever. But she believes that I personally made fake profiles of her, and I don't do shit like that. In fact, people do that to me all the time and try to damage me with it. And that's shitty. And I wouldn't waste my time doing that about her. Unfortunately, I got a lot of troglodyte fans. And even now, the ones that are on my side are disturbing me. They're fucking disturbing me. So I want to make it real clear what my point is now, and that's what I did wrong, because it's not clear enough.
Right.
And the point is not what the man saw. That's not the point, okay? The point was a social media mob with a lack of information is a dangerous combination, and it disturbs me, okay? And I'm not asking for you to prove it in court. I'm not, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I understand why the amount of information. I understand how the whole thing happened because I have a much clearer picture now because I've talked to some people. So I totally see what my part is that was wrong. Even if there's certain people are going to be like, no, you don't. The point is you're supposed to say I accept the patriarchy in every single thing I believe. But they're going to have to understand that my trauma was caused by religion, and they sound an awful lot like religious people to me. And while I won't be joining their religion, I will recognize my insensitivity, you know? And I'm going to try to fix it because there's a common ground here where this is not a male versus female issue, okay?
Right.
The men, me and most of the men I know would want to chop the fucking head off of a fucking rapist.
Oh, yeah.
They have a valid fear. That if there's no information and they're being called guilty, that could happen to them. Much like women are afraid of being raped, okay? So I'm just saying, let's not discount that, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, aside from my poor choices of words, okay? And for the record, I do believe. Well, I can't get into why I do, but let's just say I don't know all the victims, or I'm just gonna call her my friend. I'm not gonna say victim or accused.
Yeah.
That shit. I believe my friend, okay, and that's what I need was information, and I don't need court proof, and I'm not saying that's what you need. Okay.
But it sounds like you're defending against what these idiots think you said when you really didn't even say.
Well, I have to because
it's
important that actual victims understand what I said.
Right.
And the fact is, my poor choice of words made it very unclear.
Right.
But the bottom line is, I'm somebody with PTSD. I am, man.
Right.
And I hate. Listen, it's a big thing for me to even say a fucking word like triggered. Dude, I hate their fucking shorthand so much.
Oh, of course.
But that doesn't mean all their points are bad. It
Right.
doesn't. And it's not fair to get. Look, it's not fair what was done to me, and I did the same thing. That's why I was yelling. So that's not fair. So there's a little bit here where I can give, you know what I mean? And there's a lot of people that are on that side that are willing to give. And the ones that aren't, they're not going to. But that's really not what I care about. There's a more important thing here. And it's like, none of this should be about me, man. It should be focused on a rape case, you know?
Yeah.
Because there's other people that are coming out about this person. There's other people coming out so I cannot discount social media entirely. I can't. What do you do when there's no good options? And you did go to the police. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, the internet's changed everything.
Look, I would say this hypothetically, and I'm not saying it's anybody, okay? But let's say it's hypothetically.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say, hypothetically, you did go to the police, and they didn't help you. And you just wanted to have an organization behind you when you said someone raped you.
Right.
And that's how UCB. Let's just say that hypothetically, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm yelling about it. And look, you want to be labeled as a rape victim, okay? Because you're a funny person. You're like somebody who would be my friend, okay? And you don't want to be labeled that way, so you can't come out. And you can't tell people you went to the police, okay? And now because of me, people think you're a fucking idiot that went to a clown school first. You know? Right. And that's something to be concerned about, man.
Right.
And I'm telling you, that's something I have to apologize for. And so that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying that hypothetically, but I'm just saying that's something I didn't consider. Right. So anybody supporting me, consider that because I have to, okay? Mm-hmm. Just like I want somebody to consider my points. And that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely. I see you've got to make this into a chance to say something good and not, deal with what these people...
It's not just people's fucking politics, man.
Right.
Like, real people got hurt,
Mm-hmm.
Real people got hurt. And everybody forgets about them because they go, well, it's more important we change the system, and then no one will get hurt. Right. Well, that's not where you start because people aren't going to accept that. You start with the people that got hurt because I believe any man around that support me, it's like, I don't just believe that, has a friend or a sister or a girlfriend or whoever, that if they told them they got raped, they'd fucking believe them. They would.
Right.
And they wouldn't need that much to go on. Either,
yeah. The worst part.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the worst part though is that these people that jumped on you, they're just sitting around waiting for someone to fuck up. They don't really even give a shit that it's you, and they really don't even give a shit about rape.
And that's a great point, man.
Yeah.
That's a great point, and that's why I fucked up, because you got to look. I'm a clown, and I was under the impression that, like, why do I have to fucking parse my words like my gut? But how is Trump almost president? And
yeah, exactly.
President, you know,
Trump could probably say what you said and it'd be fine.
But the bottom line is, I chose to speak on a thing that's a real fucking thing, and I moved out of clown mode into that, and I didn't take the responsibility to choose my words carefully. You see?
I think that you
so
didn't realize how.
That's on me.
I was gonna say you didn't realize how powerful your words are, even though you. I mean, everybody.
I got low. Listen, buddy. I'm an abuse victim, and I got low self-esteem like anybody else.
Right.
And I don't think of myself as anybody famous or any shit. I didn't have any idea how many people have heard of me.
Right.
And I don't realize how people are looking at me. And I took no consideration of that, because in my quest to not be a phony, it's like I'm not considering anybody else's thoughts except my own.
Right.
So that's the part I'm wrong for. It's not that I don't accept all the dog mother peddling, and I will never accept all of it. However, the insensitivity and the just thinking about myself and that I'm right is fucked up. It's really fucked up.
Right.
And I'm just telling you, just having a little bit of information really clears that up, okay? But sometimes a victim can't fucking give you all the information, and they can't fucking reveal themselves, and they got a good fucking reason. Because there's somebody that might just be your friend, and they don't want to be thought of as your friend that got raped, and that's a shitty thing to have laid on them. And unfortunately, the way we do things, that's what happens, man. So I can't say I don't understand it. I can't say I don't.
I did agree with your point, though, that, these fucking people, they just want to fuck up everybody's life. These internet people. I mean,
some of them do. Listen. Some of them do, and some of them are just pure shit.
Right.
But the girl, Nikki Black, that I talked to, she's someone that got hurt. She's someone that got hurt like me. Right. And when I opened up to her, she was very kind to me. And she went back to all these women's groups bashing me and told them the shit I told her. And there's ones in there like crying right now going, oh, my God, everybody hurts. So my shitty approach caused the bulk of this.
Wow.
And there's no doubt about it, even though I have a point that's correct. And by the way, there's nuance to my point. And it's not just go to the police. What are you, dumb? There's more to it than that I didn't consider. There really is.
Right.
Okay? You know what I mean? Maybe they went to the police and you just don't know they went.
I think one of the...
And maybe you're looking at the people, those shitty people you're talking about, maybe you're listening to them spout their dogma you hate. And the real victim might be annoyed by that too.
Right.
But what the fuck is she supposed to do?
Yeah.
She can't reveal herself. What's she supposed to do? And she's watching me run off at the mouth. And even if she agrees with me, she can't say so. And I've made it harder for her.
Right.
And I got to apologize for that. You know. And that's where this all shakes out. So some people, listen, I'm not fired from shit. Amy's my dear friend. Nobody sold me out. And I hate that it got twisted. I told her what to say.
Right.
I merely meant that she's my dear friend. And I said, whatever you got to do, because I brought this heat on you, and it's unfair. Say what you got to say. I don't mean I gave her orders. I'm bad at selecting my language, but you got to understand most of the time I'm a clown for a living. And I chose to jump out because this struck me emotionally, because I'm somebody that got abused real bad.
Right.
And I got to recognize that other people, not just me, got hurt, you know what I mean, in their life, and they've latched on to this shit that I decided was silly.
Right.
Because it doesn't get me through my day.
Yeah.
Jokes get me through my day.
Yeah.
But what about a woman that's a comedian and she's like me and jokes got her through her day, and that's not enough, and now what is she going to do, and where's her support?
Right.
So I can't just discount them entirely.
Do you think, though, that, a different angle of this, the fact that this kicked off and now you're going to do something right about the whole situation, this gives more power to these social idiots, because they're like, hey, our word fucked this guy up, so now let's just keep doing it to more and more people.
Well, no, listen, man, I'll tell you what, a lot of them are still going to be like, he's the devil, because if I'm not accepting the whole enchilada, I have to be destroyed. And listen, I've been talking to people on the phone privately. Some girl was like, you're done. She was very gracious to talk to me, and we don't agree at all. And she kept going, you understand, you're a white man, okay? Which is infuriating. It's fucking infuriating.
What color does it...
I tell her a point.
It doesn't matter. What color how does color affect what you had to say? There's nothing you said that, that couldn't have been said by a black guy or a green guy.
Listen. My stand-up, by the way, if you see it, nobody's complaining about my stand-up, okay? They're complaining about this.
Right.
Or other shit I've said on social media, okay?
Yeah.
So the bottom line is, look, dude, I'm good at it, and people want to hear me and they want to like me. The ones that completely hate my guts for reasons I can't control.
Right.
And I've got to make it possible for them to do that and feel okay about it. Right. I have to.
Absolutely.
And so that's the part I'm wrong for, is for closing a window on people. But you got to understand I'm in pain too. And I didn't make that. And I probably should have led with that instead of just yelling at people. And that's a fair point that I got to take. It is.
Right. It's just crazy how this kicked off.
But
hopefully something good's going to come out of it.
In the future, it's something like that deserves a lot of thought and not my knee-jerk reaction, because I'm yelling at these people for theirs, but I just gave mine.
Right.
So that's the change of the thing going forward. But there's nothing with my comedy, and there's nothing with what I believe is good or whatever that is changing at all. I don't need to hurt other people because I got hurt. I could listen to people, and even if I hate their stupid psychobabble words, some of them help me. You know?
Yeah.
And there's a little bit where, and this girl, Nikki, put down her patriarchy bullshit for 5 seconds and gave a shit about me. And I got to thank her for that, you know?
Right.
Because I was very mean to her.
Yeah.
And,
you know what, though?
So,
the kind of comedy that you do, and the kind of comedy that a lot of people in the same, group of people that you do, it's all off the cuff, you know what I mean? Once in a while, it's got to be something you say that
and that's
fucks
right.
up.
And I want people to remember something real important. Take all the politics you hate out of this.
Right.
Consider the possibility that somebody who is a rape victim doesn't have a lot of choices, and they like the comedy I like, and they're very funny, right. and they even crack jokes that they're afraid to say because they're afraid these people are going to turn on them too. And on top of it, they got fucking raped.
Wow.
Just consider that, because I have.
Yeah.
And I have a better understanding now. So just if you support me, just consider that, okay?
Absolutely.
I'm not saying you got to believe anybody or whatever. I'm just telling you at this point, by the way, I was never defending this dude. I was never saying he was innocent. I was saying the knee-jerk mob is wrong, but I can't be knee-jerk myself to do it. So that's the lesson for me.
Right. Yeah. Okay. I see exactly what you're saying, and I really appreciate you calling the show, and I wish you the best with the going forward with it, and I hope something good comes out of it.
I'm getting support letters from Trump voters.
Wow.
And look, I don't want to alienate them, but my point is not fuck all the women and fuck feminists, and that was never my point. And I made it seem like that was my point, because if you just know women or know, especially women who've been hurt, or even a man who's been hurt, like myself, they don't see your point. They see that I said whole, and not that I was making a satire of something absurd like asking questions is re-raping the victim.
No.
That post that got all the press was I was trying to be satirical of that. And you know what? It was shitty of me. Because there's a real person that got hurt, and more than one. And in my effort to bash their argument that I think is bad, I don't even think about that. You know? That's not cool of me. And I owe an apology for that.
Mm-hmm. I still think that that it's weird that you're going from the angle that you did hurt these people by what you said, but nothing you wrote really was bashing them or accusing them of being liars or anything like that.
If I said it the wrong way, man, if I said it, look, if I'm going to talk about that shit and I don't choose my words carefully, I leave myself open for what exactly happened.
Right.
For the people who have a political motivation to twist the words around and make me the devil, and also make a victim think I'm talking to them. So who can I blame for that but me? So that's why it's so important for me to choose my words right, because that thing you're talking about. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But now, going forward, are you going to second-guess everything you say from now on?
Well, not the funny shit.
Right.
Listen, if I'm going to be a clown, I'm a clown, so leave me alone. If I'm going to talk about a real serious thing, I got to be as serious as the topic. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah.
Not if I'm joking. I'm not talking about jokes. Jokes are all okay. Jokes are all okay. And a lot of women who've been raped, by the way, have no problem with any jokes.
No, of course not.
And they get swept up with the group, and then this becomes a battle of the sexes, and it's not. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to alienate those women that are on my side. Right. I've been talking to a lot of them, and you know what? Like, I can't just consider myself and all that and me joking around. Look, I've got the privilege of making jokes I want, but somebody who got raped and shit, they don't. You know, they can't even say who they are sometimes.
Right.
And so maybe they want to make a joke about it too, but how the fuck are they gonna? And if I'm not making it easy for them to reveal who they are and let them know it's not your fault and you don't have to be ashamed of it, how are they going to give me all the information I need to not yell at people? You know?
Right.
And I'm contributing to why someone's afraid enough. I contributed to that.
Right.
Okay. So going forward, I want to make it clear that we're not really enemies on a lot of shit. Me and a lot of these people.
Right.
Some people are going to be my enemy no matter what. But I understand what I did wrong, and even if I'm not going to accept all your dogma, there's a big element here that we got to common ground on.
Right. All right. Well, yeah, I mean, I totally agree, and I wish you the best with it all.
I'm fine, buddy. Listen, the bottom line is the media is a wrecking ball. It hit me. It keeps moving. This all blows over. My career's not done.
Oh, next week you're going to be writing. You're going to be writing for whoever's the next big thing after Amy. Not saying anything wrong with Amy.
It's like, look, I'm not done. My career's fine. There's some embarrassment, some whatever, but that's fine.
Right.
And I don't want the story to blow over, and then no one gives a shit about an actual rape case after, and it was just about me.
Right.
That's pretty shitty. And I'm more concerned about that. And I want you to know, like, there's nothing making me say anything. I'm not afraid of none of you motherfuckers.
Right.
And I don't give a fuck about a fucking career.
Right.
But I got a heart. Man. And it cut my heart out to think that a rape victim thinks I'm mocking them. That cuts my fucking heart out. And it's important to me that that's clear. But I don't give a shit about a fucking job. My name's not Amy Schumer writer. Okay?
Right. Absolutely.
I don't care. There's nothing you can hold over me. This is of my own free will, what I'm telling you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good luck with it all, buddy. Thanks for calling the show. I really, really appreciate it. And hopefully we'll get to talk when this is all resolved and we can see what came of it all.
Just by the disappointment in your voice, I could tell I got to say this shit.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't want this to be a battle of the sexes, man. And I'm telling you, the men support me. Seriously. Mm-hmm. It's not nothing. Think of someone you know and what you would do if they told you.
Yeah.
And how that would handle. And there's an element you got to think of, okay?
Yep.
And also, they got to think of, there's a valid fear after that Jackie from UVA shit.
Right.
That's a valid fear, and men are not disposable, and we get abused also. Mm-hmm. So just understand, we're your ally if you let us be. And it's not a big thing you got to do to make us your ally. It's just put aside just your politics for a minute, and I'll do the same. You know?
Right. Yep. Yeah. Well.
All right, take care, brother.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, man. I really appreciate you calling, and good luck.
All right, take care.
All right. Bye-bye.